Good evening and welcome to Why Soul Works. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kendall Bird. I'm a VP of brand here at Soul Naturals, and I'm so glad you could take some time out of your day to join us. We have a great group on tonight. I'm so excited. Tonight, we have a little bit of a special episode of Why Soul Works, and a couple of reasons why it's so special is we've got three amazing guests tonight. We have a new package design to release to you. We've got a new accessory bundle that we're launching tonight, and we're talking about AväntGreens. Now, AväntGreens is advanced daily nutrition. Our bodies and our busy lives require us to operate at high levels. And if we're not giving our bodies the nutrition that we need to do that, we just can't do it any longer. And our bodies start to fail. AväntGreens provides that nutrition through sprouts, adaptogens, omegas, fruits, and tonic herbs. Hey, let's talk about that right now on Why Soul Works. Our first amazing guest is Greg Halliday. He's our president and founder of Soul Naturals. He is going to share a little bit about what makes AväntGreens so great. But before we do that, let's show them the new bag.
All right.
This is our new bag. It is made with post-consumer material. It has a little indication there on the bottom that tells that. They are doing some amazing stuff with post-consumer material. It's a lot better than it was even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's smoother, it's nicer, it's really great. And we've got a laminate on there. It's a caress soft touch is what they call it. It is luxurious. And
Kendall, just sorry to jump in on this post-consumer, but you mentioned that it's much better than, say, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that Soul is getting into it now is because the seal is very important to us. And early on in post-consumer material, you could get a nice looking bag, but it was not a hermetic seal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't preserve what's in it. We use such highly dense nutrients and important ones that need to not contact any oxygen or air, because then they start to degrade.
Right.
And so now that post-consumer material is actually, they've improved it, and we can have the best of both worlds. We can reuse, but also have the level of quality we need. Yeah. Anyways, just a little sidelight on that.
Yeah. So and it's we got a little bit of some of the herbs and sprouts that are in the product featured on the label there. On the back, talk a little bit about daily nutrition and greens and why they're important. We talk about sprouts a little bit and why Soul is different, attacking or going after the root of all of nutritional needs, So, yeah, I'm excited to have this bag out there, and it's available now. And I'll just set that right there.
And Kendall, that bag is a little bigger.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're going to talk about that later. Are we waiting till later to talk about? There's quite a bit more. It's hard to tell when you only see the new bag, but it's actually a full 1 month supply.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the great new announcements is advanced daily nutrition for 30 days.
For 30 days. Yeah. Every day you can take that.
Yeah.
I love it. And it is so very nutritious. We have a lot. If you look on the label, you can see that there's a lot of different sprouts and adaptogens and herbs and fruits in there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's in it and how nutritious it is?
I would be happy to do that. There's a long list of ingredients for AväntGreens, obviously, but the name is purposeful. It's intentional. What makes it Avant? Because there are a lot of green mixtures, green powders, green blends in the 33 years now that I've been part of this industry. I've seen them from the very beginning. But there are at least two factors, and I would say two of the very most important factors that make AväntGreens just sort of what the name suggests, advanced greens, where you'll get an even more peak result. And that's something that we can say because the formula, it's been a few years. We have seen that. And hopefully we'll show you tonight a little bit why it is so Avant. To do that, we're going to highlight a few of the ingredients here. But what we're going to highlight is not just a list. And it's not all of the ingredients. But these ingredients have been part of special laboratory analysis. And in this analysis, we've looked at all these key ingredients that we know are quite dense in their nutrient value and simply listed and enumerated for you in the coming slides those key nutrients that are found in above average amounts. So all greens have good amounts of things. But we looked at those nutrients that are above average, that are a higher quantity than normal, that lead the way. And that's what we're going to show you in just a second here. So first of all, here's a list of some of the highest nutrient and peak nutrition containing ingredients in AväntGreens. And you can see here as it builds, it's quite a list. And it comes around and you can see some of the bigger words are the higher concentration or higher proportion of the formula. I mean, notice hemp seed out there and sprouted greens. Now there are 5 different sprouts in here. 2 of them are sprouted seeds and 3 are the sprouts themselves. We're going to come back to them. But what we did is we looked in the lab, what key nutrients do they have for peak functioning that are simply in above average amounts? So there are many other vitamins you won't see on here and components. These are just the above average amounts. Now you can kind of take a look at the list as they grow, circling it, hovering around the ingredient themselves. So these are nutrients for peak nutrition that are found in above average amounts. And you can see the list is large. So take a look at it a little bit. If you get about 3 inches from the screen and stare at it, you can see actually the Solle building. But no, I don't know that you can see that. But if you look at it closely, for instance, how many of you see B vitamins? You can see in the parentheses a lot of B vitamins in AväntGreens, a lot of just overall. These are all key vitamins in above average amounts coming from these components. Enzymes. Do you see omegas in there? Do you see calcium? Do you see important amino acids like L-arginine? And I think when you look, you'll see those nutrients that are known to be essential for peak performance and peak nutrition, and how they cluster around some of these key ingredients. So yeah, that's not everything. It's not an exhaustive list.
No.
We don't even have all the ingredients, but we have a lot of them here just so you can get a feel for how densely nutritious AväntGreens is. Now, why so much focus on nutrition and particularly advanced daily nutrition? Why do we call it advanced? Well, first of all, if we just back up a couple of steps, there is no peak functioning without adequate nutrition, as you mentioned at the start, Kendall. Nutrition underlies our body's metabolism. It underlies energy metabolism. With poor nutrition, we have poor metabolism. With better nutrition, we have better metabolism. With peak nutrition, we can have peak metabolism, sort of turbo metabolism. I sort of picture it, metabolism in the prime, when our body's functioning in prime form. That's what we want here. So dense nutrition is something that we say a lot. I love this definition. This comes from Dr. Allison. She's not the only one to say it this way, but a shout out to Dr. Allison. So much of this information was gathered as we originally launched this formula, and we're highlighting it here tonight. Dense nutrition is simply lots of nutrients without having to eat lots of food. That's something, again, as you mentioned, lifestyle and the times we live in, it's not just advantageous, it's actually essential that we have something at our fingertips that can deliver. And so, and you can see a little bit on this slide, there's a little picture of foods that are nutrient dense, and you can see a lot of familiar powerhouses of nutrition in different veggies and fruits. Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because I'd like to do just a few shout outs to the key dense nutrients in AväntGreens. And we'll start with watercress. It's one I love to shout out watercress because most people are like, what? Watercress? Well, interestingly, there was a study in 2014 published in the Washington Post. And they analyzed 41 of these powerhouse fruits and veggies. You would recognize all the names. In fact, your favorite, or maybe the one you grew up with, or your mother or your grandmother said you need to eat lots of that, it's going to be on that list. I was just reviewing it again today. And in this study, watercress was highlighted. It received a perfect 100 score by these researchers. And what they did is they weren't just looking at veggies that are good for you, greens that are nutritious. They were examining what they called nutrient power. Nutrients with the power to make a change in this prime metabolism that I'm referencing. Watercress, according to their standard, topped all of them and got a perfect score. So it beat all these other 41 powerhouse fruits and veggies. Watercress has more iron than spinach, more calcium than milk, more vitamin C than oranges. That's just 3 things. It adds a bunch more. In fact, one little fun fact, eating it daily reduces DNA damage. So it's protective of our cells. So I love, shout out to watercress. Now, this might be the biggest shout out of all the nutrients, sprouts. And this is why the slide says, sprouts make all the difference. Why do sprouts make all the difference? Because it's funny when you see a lot of green powders, and I can tell you for years before founding Solle, we were involved with several and we never included sprouts. What changed with this formula and why we decided that sprouts make all the difference is what you see on this slide. They're very high in enzymes. The proteolytic, or the protein digesting enzymes, which are rebuilders. Those, to me, if you're looking for enzymes that help the fountain of youth, it's the proteolytics. They protect us. They help the body repair what's gone wrong. They deal with inflammation and pain. They do lots and lots of different things, and sprouts are loaded with them. They contain a compound, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, you can see it in the second point, that produces many different enzymes. In fact, what's so great and what makes all the difference with sprouts, they produce them in 10 times to 100 times what you would find in the mature plant. So it's interesting, this study at the New York Post that I referenced earlier, it was comparing to all these power fruits and veggies, but it was comparing mature plants. Mm-hmm. It didn't have adolescent plants in them. These sprouts. Why are they advantageous? And we would say, why do we argue they make all the difference? It's the enzymes in, I think, an order of magnitudes of amounts, 10 to 100 times what you find in the mature plant. So what they do is they help our body use all this power nutrition, that explosion of nutrition we saw on that slide. Right. They help us actually absorb it. Why? Because enzymes are needed, and enzymes are what we lack more and more and more because of the form that we eat foods in, and also just age and time in life we don't maybe do as well. So sprouts, they make all the difference. They make up, the group of sprouts in AväntGreens, 5 sprouts, make up the largest proportion of AväntGreens serving. So together those 5 are larger in proportion than all the others. Now they're not larger than all the others, but larger than any single other ingredient. Why? Because of the enzymes, and also in this phase of their life, the plant life, they're also much increased, not just in the enzymes, but in their key vitamins and minerals that are part of that plant. Chia and alfalfa and amaranth. Those are some of the examples of the sprouts we have. They're much higher in minerals and vitamins in this stage as well. So they are even more nutritious. They're high in all the amino acids. They're a great source of protein. All the 9 essential amino acids are there. And healthy fats and omegas are there in good amounts in a really bioabsorbable form. So sprouts really are very dense nutrition in and among themselves, but their enzymes, when you combine it with their nutrition and the other greens like watercress, etc., that we have, make all the difference for advanced daily nutrition. And I believe that one of the things that you'll see when you start making this part of your daily habit is just how good they feel in the gut because of that nutritional value, the enzymes and the digestive health. So shout out to the sprouts. Now this next shout out I'd like to make, hemp seed, it's actually number 2 after the sprouts in terms of quantity in the formula. That also raises a few eyebrows. People, hemp? But the more you study hemp, it is also loaded. It contains a lot of amino acids, some that are helpful in keeping our body operating in prime form. The example of these first two amino acids that are highlighted here, this is from Dr. Allison. I would compare it to like additives to fuels in a car. There are certain additives to the fuel that keep things running clean, so that the body can so that the car has a better performance, better reaction to the fuel that's put in it. And I think this is the same principle with these amino acids in hemp seed. They also have the absolute ideal ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. They are in a form in AväntGreens that is very easily absorbed. And you can look at the bottom bullet point on this slide. This is why we've got them in such high quantity. Of all of the ingredients, hemp seed contains the broadest array of key nutrients that are found in above average amounts. If you can believe that, hemp is that nutritious, and that's why you get a lot of it. I think we were looking at it the other day as I was talking with Erica. Each serving of AväntGreens is like giving yourself 2 full capsules of this highly nutritious hemp in the concentrated form that we have it. So shout out to hemp seed in AväntGreens. Now the next one I want to shout out, Lo Han Gao. I'm hopefully pronouncing it somewhat close to its proper pronunciation. Why is it in here? Well, it's the longevity fruit in China. Lo Han Gao is actually pretty high in protein, very high in vitamin C and in minerals and healthy fatty acids. Look how balanced its array of nutrients are. And it's also a digestive aid. When it's present, what else is in the formula helps absorb more readily. So it's also quite a sweet fruit. So if you're drinking AväntGreens and you wonder, hey, why is that kind of sweet? Well, the Lo Han Gao. Shout out to Lo Han Gao, because we want to have peak functioning, peak energy, peak nutrition. And with the longevity fruit in there, we want to give you not just good days and peak days, but a lot of good days and a lot of good peak days. And that's what Lo Han Gao is in there for. Now, this is the second. I mentioned 2 reasons why AväntGreens are advanced nutrition. The first one is the sprouts and the whole story of absorption and enzymes in ultra high amounts that is unique to the formula with Solle, our greens formula. This is the second reason. We call it Help Me Soul, because life is, well, you mentioned it, you alluded to it, Kendall. It's busy. It's, for most of it can feel heavy at times. It can wear on us. And one of the things that it wears on is our whole stress response, just constantly having to deal with so much information that we all live among in the world today. And so this formula of greens has a second bonus that makes it Avant. It is formulated to include nutrition for adrenal fatigue and thyroid stress, 2 problems that are huge and go under, I think, analyzed, but they're both crucial for peak functioning. So how do we do that? With a trio of adaptogens combined with a few tonic herbs that they pair well with to give us that added boost to all the dense nutrition of boosting our adrenal strength and our stress response. This is the second reason why AväntGreens are Avant. Here's a trio of adaptogens: holy basil, licorice, and American ginseng. All have some unique properties that are both healing, that are also a tonic and strengthening to our stress response. But also, look what else they do. And this is, you can find many studies that allude to this. One of the byproducts of a lot of stress is we have too much cortisol, and that causes all sorts of problems. We do not function at peak levels when there's too much of that. What they all do is help the body lower it. All 3 of them have been shown in studies to help the body lower those excess cortisol levels. They protect our mind and clarity of thought. So, when you're stressed sometimes, when your adrenals are a little shot, it's not always easy to have that clear thinking. All 3 of these actually play a role in protection there. And then the third point, in being able to recharge, whether it's sleep or recovery and rest, they all help in this area. Now, we paired them with my final shout out. Here's my final shout out. It's Mimosa tree. In China, it is known as the happiness tree. It's a nervine. It helps with a healthy stress response and is calming and anti-anxiety in its nature, strengthening to the adrenals, helps the body manage stress better, much like adaptogens, pairs really well with that adaptogen trio. And so you could look at it this way. We've got these wonderful dense nutrients in AväntGreens. We've got sprouts that are also dense in nutrients, but will help you absorb them better, the rest of them better. And then we threw in some strength for how we deal with stress in these adaptogens and in this mimosa bark. We call it a little bit of happy juice added to the AväntGreens because that is exactly what mimosa does. It's interesting because to me, mimosa, it's a bark that we use. It's an extract of the bark. The bark is what a tree uses to protect itself, right? I'm sure there are other functions, but protection's a big one. I kind of like the analogy. You know, when we up happiness a little bit, we up our stress resiliency, then we do everything better, and so does our body, physically and emotionally. A little happy juiced is a good part of peak functioning. So there's I hope that was somewhere around 15 minutes of a little bit of the science behind the nutrition in AväntGreens.
Right, I love it. It's full of nutrients that are bioavailable because of the way it's formulated, and the stress response helpers, I guess, in it help you to be able to assimilate it as well. So I love it. Thank you, Greg, for sharing your time with us tonight.
My
and
pleasure.
Teaching us. I love it when you teach us because I always learn so much, and it makes me appreciate these products even more. But now we are blessed to have our second amazing guest on tonight, who is Erica Sanchez. Erica Sanchez is our master distributor, and she is here, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about who this product is for.
Well, really, it's for everyone who wants to live a peak performance life. And that could be from a mom, an entrepreneur, an athlete, a college student, anybody who is seeking to have better performance, better mental focus, clarity, energy, all of the things required to live optimally. This is a product for them.
What if you're a graphic designer or a brand specialist?
Definitely a product for them.
Nice. Yeah. So in every walk of life, people are looking to better themselves and to perform at peak performance, and this is a great way to nourish the body to do that. I mean, I guess it's not for everybody. It's only for people who are looking to better their lives.
True. Only the ones who want to better their lives. And it's so simple. It's super easy. You just 1 scoop a day, mix it up, take it every single day. And every single day you're going to be putting good nutrition into your nutritional bank that you'll be able to withdraw on later when you need to up your game a little bit.
Love it. Yeah, the tagline there is advanced daily nutrition. And Greg talked a lot about how advanced it is, but it's so important that we get it in our bodies daily. It's not something we just take, when we're feeling bad or when we're needing a little extra, whatever. It needs to be getting in our bodies every day if we want to perform, at a higher level. So I love it. Now. Anything else there?
Nope, that's it on that.
Okay, we've got a video that kind of explains how to take AväntGreens. Our beloved Carly in the office here is going to tell us a little bit about that.
AväntGreens was designed to provide you with the daily foundational nutrition boost that you need to help support your mind and body wellness throughout the day. It contains sprouted greens, as well as adaptogens, tonic herbs, fruits, probiotics, and enzymes. All of these work with your body to help support your overall metabolic wellness, as well as your blood sugar, gut, liver, and heart health. It also provides you with antioxidants. This is important because that helps boost your energy and keep you energized throughout the day. It also helps support your mood as well as your stress resiliency to tackle all of your everyday stressors. To make AväntGreens, I would mix it in 8 to 12 ounces of water. And as you do so, you might begin to notice that there is some sprouted goodness in there. And so if you want it to be a little bit more thick, I would recommend doing it in 8 ounces. If you want it a little bit thinner, more of a light taste, I would do it in 12. You can also mix it with Solle Complete, with Solle Vital, or add in lemon or lime. You can even put it in a smoothie. There's not really a wrong way to drink it. If you want to let it sit for a little bit longer, it'll be more smooth, whereas if you drink it right ahead, you might notice a little bit of crunch because of those sprouted greens. The best part about AväntGreens is that it brings you daily nutrition. And so you're gonna see its effects on your body and on your mind over long-term use.
That's great. That video helps us understand how to take it and the best ways to mix it up. But Erica, you've got some more input on that.
Well, it's important to remember that it's easy and we don't have to overcomplicate it. So we can just take 1 scoop every day, put it in our water. We can take it on the go. If you want it to be smoother, it's really great to let it sit a little bit. And as the sprouts absorb more water, the texture will be a little bit smoother. If you enjoy it with a little bit of texture, a little bit of crunch, you can just take it right away. I kind of like it that way. And it's really popular mixed in a smoothie. And one of the most popular combinations with some of our other products is lots of people enjoy AväntGreens mixed with Vital. And it's a really refreshing green drink when you do it. And it's great to take on the go in the morning. And it really provides tons and tons of nutrition for you for the rest of the day.
I love it. Love it. Daily. Easy. It tastes good. You mix it with lots of good stuff. Any of the Solle products go with it. So it's great. But now it's time to meet our third amazing guest, who is coming from California, and she's somebody whose life demanded of her to be high performing, and found that AväntGreens helped her. So let's meet Rebecca Norman in California. Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
Hello. Okay, so yes, AväntGreens is definitely one that I have needed in a big way. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure where you want me to start.
Yeah, tell us how you the demands that were upon your life, and how you decided you needed AväntGreens and what it did for you.
Well, I found myself in a situation where I was suddenly responsible for caregiving pretty exclusively all on me. And it was somebody that was very near and dear to me. So as you can imagine, if you're dealing with somebody with chronic disease or even down to the point where they went into the dying phase, the demands are quite intense. And as we embarked on this situation, that meant chemo, radiation, medications, IV nutrition, needing to be available 24/7 to make sure that all of these needs were being met. So it was extremely intense. And so for me, it became really important to take care of myself. Because if I didn't have the energy, how in the world was I going to be able to take care of anyone else? There was just no way. And I actually had a scare during this time where I was out with my family and we were in line for a concert and I passed out. And so that was kind of like a get it together woman moment where it was like, okay, you're not doing enough. You got to turn it up a notch. And so I finally tried adding the AväntGreens, and I went from dragging, exhausted, crying a lot more, having more of a feeling of dread to the day, like, I don't know what's coming, to like, let's go. We're going to do this. Let's get to our appointment, making it positive, bringing a different kind of energy to it. I wasn't burnt out. I was able to manage everything. I was mentally clear. I was physically energized. It was like night and day between before I had it and after. And so, not everyone is going to have like the need for this high performance for something so critical, but we all need high performance. We all have demands placed on us, whether it's our jobs, caring for our families, dealing with illnesses, taking care of our loved ones. There is an endless list of things that really demand our attention, and we all are in need of that high performance nutrition. And the reality is we're not getting it from our diets. We're not getting it. Even if you have an amazing diet with organic, natural, good foods, you're still not getting everything you need. It's just, there's something going on here. So with that, the AväntGreens were seriously like the tipping point for me, to where it was like I was able to go from just beat to let's go. And it really is like a high performance nutrition. And if you're struggling, like, this is the thing to add in on top of whatever you're doing. And for me, I did it as a smoothie. I already was doing my Soul Vital Cinema Latte, my Soul Complete. I had my smoothie that I loved, and it always has sustained me really, really well. But with that added pressure, added stress, added worry, I needed more. And this was the difference maker for sure.
Man, that's a good story. Thank you for sharing with us. That's so good to hear that you found that relief and in that trying time of your life. So thank you for sharing with us tonight.
You're welcome.
We'll see you. Wow, that's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about buying this. If you go to the website and you go down, you'll find the new bag right there, AväntGreens, and here's our web page to highlight that. So description there. Here's the new price. Like Greg said, it's 30 days now. It's a larger size, and it's 30 days worth of product because you need to get it in yourself every day. It talks about the adaptogens in it, the key benefits. Comes down here and it talks about the greens, all the different pieces in it. You can read those, all kinds of information, how to take it, your 30, 80, or 60, 80 days. You want to talk a little bit about this?
Well, I mean, it's great. The longer that you're on it, the more benefits that you see. So I really like to think of it like, I think I've heard many of our incredible specialists kind of describe it like a bank account. And so you want to make your daily deposits into your bank account. And the longer that you continue to put those deposits in there, you start seeing more and more interest, so to speak, and benefits. So we see like fewer headaches and less cravings, improved sleep, digestion. All of those things really start to happen in that, first month, about 30 days, within the first 30 days, sometimes very quickly. And then as you stay on it longer, 60 days, we see a lot of, tension reduce, less irritability, all of those things. And then even longer, we start to see the real benefits of healthier metabolic functioning and weight loss and cellular health and all of those benefits as well. And so again, it's one of those products that is, we take it daily and we continue to receive benefits the longer that we continue to take it. And it's so easy because we don't have to go to the store and buy tons and tons and tons of greens and then we lose them in the, refrigerator because they expire and everything else. And there's no mess like if you were juicing or something. I mean, it's so simple. You just put that scoop in, you blend it up, and then you just drink it down.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. All right. So, you should go really just check that page out and see what's there. I wanted to point out one fun little thing. If you look up here, there's another little button right here, and if you click on that, you'll see our new accessory bundle. And what this is a frother, a bottle, and a carry bag for the frother. And you can you can buy it with the AväntGreens for $79.75 and have that fun little package come to your home and very usable. All these things are quite usable for your AväntGreens. And so all you have to do is go and click on that and order it as an option for AväntGreens. You can buy just the bag for $59.75 or the accessory bundle with the bag of AväntGreens for another $20. It's nearly a $30 value. We'll have these until they run out. We have quite a bit, but it's not something that we're going to have on forever. So make sure you get those. I'm thrilled. I'm excited about these. I think they're going to be fun additions. A nice little option when you're buying AväntGreens, especially for people who buy it for the very first time. They can buy the accessories and have a frother and everything. I love it. I'm excited about it. And I've had a really good time tonight on Why Soul Works. Was there anything else you wanted to address before we say goodnight?
No, that's it. I think it's incredible. For $1.99, you get all the nutrition that you really can pack into one little serving, and it's such a great value. So it's so easy and just great.
Yeah. So our next Why Soul Works is on March 12th. So put that on your calendars, and we'll see you there. Jennifer Pressimone will be our special guest that night, and she'll be talking about Lift, our SE blend of Lift. I've learned so much. I've had a good time tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Why Soul Works.